Hello everyone, this is Globee. Today I'm touring parts of Cape Girardeau, Missouri. What better place to start than the world's largest fountain drink cup? Okay, here's the world's largest fountain drink cup. 4,730 gallons of lemonade, record set August the 20th, 2017. This is Fort D. Fort D was one of 4 forts established to protect Cape Girardeau. It is said that this was the most important one as it was designed to protect the Cape from enemies coming in along the river. The other forts, A, B, and C, protected the streets and the other roads. Now, this gray building that you see was not a part of Fort D because it was built in the 1930s. The actual fort was just consisted of these earthen areas, and there were probably tents in the center where the soldiers stayed and camped. In order to help dissuade potential attackers, some Union soldiers shaped and painted logs to make them look like cannons from a distance. Since these cannons could not fire, they were called Quaker cannons after the Quakers, a peaceable religious group that generally declined to fight. Since Fort D was rarely threatened, it may be that the soldiers building the cannon were simply fighting boredom by having fun at the expense of their opponents. Their real cannon were enough of a threat. Huge tree. And there's the river right by Fort D. Wonder how far could those cannons reach? Or maybe they were scaring them off before they got this far. Troglodytes. During the winter, some of the soldiers stationed here dug shelters into the hillside. One soldier reported that his mess of 4 men built a covered shelter measuring 10 feet long by 8 feet wide. The top was covered with dirt and a stovepipe. chimney stuck out of the rear. To the soldiers, these shelters resembled artificial caves, and the men referred to them as temporarily troglodytes or cave dwellers. Since digging and building the shelters was hard work, many of the soldiers preferred to spend the winter in their tents. Bowling for boredom. Rarely being on alert and never under attack, boredom and disease were the biggest enemies of the soldiers serving at Fort D. Soldiers passed their spare time reading, writing letters, playing cards, sewing, gambling, or playing music. Games played included baseball and pitching horseshoes. In one recorded episode at Fort D, soldiers constructed wooden bowling pins from blocks of wood. They then used 32-pound cannonballs as bowling balls on a makeshift wooden floored bowling alley. One of the soldiers, Benjamin Rayford, commented, "They were effective when hit and gave strength to our arms." And this is the fort. And these hills would show where the men dug into the hills to make their little fortresses. It's not very big. It's a small fortress. And like I said, they didn't get much action. But here just in case. Looks like a statue overlooking the water. Can you see it? Like there's something white over there. Probably not a statue.
Turn right.
They've got a nice view. House right there. At the stop sign.
You've entered the parking lot for your destination.
Is this it?
There's the red house right there.
Oh. I thought this was the
Yeah, and the wall. Yeah, this is it too.
part of my tour. Look at that place over to the This is the Red House Interpretive Center, but today it's closed, so we can't go inside. And there's an unhappy dog tied to a pole at the church across the street. So this is the Red House. Pierre-Louis Dor de Lorimer, French-Canadian fur trader, Indian agent, and founder of Cape Girardeau, built the Red House in the late 1790s west of this location on what is now the parking lot of St. Vincent's Church. And this is Louis Lorimer. The Red House served as the family home for Louis, his wife Charlotte, Penelope, Bougainville, and their children. It also served as a fur trading establishment. Okay. This talks about the Lewis and Clark expedition. On November 23rd, 1803, Meriwether Lewis and William Clark arrived at Cape Girardeau, a trading post established in 1795 by Louis Lorimer, the Spanish-appointed commandant of the Cape Girardeau district. Here, Lewis, co-commander of the expedition, left the keelboat to pay an official visit to the commandant, Lorimer. The remaining party under the command of Clark was feeling ill, continued upstream about 2 miles and camped on a point of land that was the site of Lorimer's original trading post, which was probably constructed in 1793. A lot of history here. You're here. And beside the brick house, looks like either the beginning or the end of the murals along the Riverwalk. I'm going to get a bunch of those right by the river. I love murals. Such time put into them, such intricate work. Beautiful. And this is a beehive oven. Have no clue what that is. I don't know if they used it back in the day. I think perhaps that's what it is. If anybody knows, please let me know. In Cape Girardeau. But it's right beside the red brick house. And they had a garden. And they still have a garden. Look at that mirror to the left.
Can't see it here.
Getting out of the way of the cars. Hot shots. Excuse me, stop a minute. Oh, look up there. Let's see that on the way back. This is just like
Padova.
So that's one way we can't go that way. And I'm not going down there. I'm assuming that's one way. I don't see a sign.
Right there.
Huh?
The one-way sign right there.
I said I didn't see it.
Easy to
Stop.
take it out of yours on your side.
Yes. Oh yeah.
You drive. I got just drive.
These are the river tails. I guess I better go. I hear the train. Johnny Cash said, "Hear the train coming down the tracks." I don't know who that is. Okay.
Alright. And this is the
Oh, I thought kind of going up there. Guess not, huh?
yeah, that's it. That's the Riverfront Bridge part.
So you just walk up there. You don't drive. Spiderweb. And what's this called again?
Riverfront.
Oh, here comes a barge. Oh, this part of the river is dry, just like it is in Memphis, along the Mississippi. What is that, a lighthouse down there? I bet that's a lighthouse. That white thing that's sitting on the hill.
I don't think there's lighthouses in this city.
Well, there could be.
Oh, there it is right there.
Turn left.
Yeah. I thought that was a visitor sign. Oh, there it is.
Looks like it's closed.
Oh, the Ivor Square.
So we're in Ivor Square. And from slavery, Ivor Square to freedom. Let's talk about the clothes. From 1806, this park was set aside by city founders as a public square. A market house was built here in 1852, the courthouse in 1854, and a jailhouse in 1856. In 1861 and throughout the Civil War, the courthouse was the headquarters for the Union Army, which occupied the city under martial law. The United States Union Army began to allow the enlistment of men of color in the Mississippi River Valley in 1863. These men were to serve as federal soldiers for 3 years in segregated regiments commanded by white officers. Enlistment of volunteers for colored troop regiments began in Cape Girardeau on June 18, 1863. Records indicate 249 men of color volunteered here at the courthouse headquarters to join the fight for freedom. To volunteer, each first risk escape from his master and the perils of a fugitive journey. Oh my goodness. Yes, they did. $8,344 men of color were enlisted from Missouri, and all 178,975 black soldiers served in the United States Union Army and contributed their strength at a critical point in the war to result in the military victory of the Union and the restoration of the Republic of the United States, one nation. $15, that was quite a bit of money for a dress, even back then. Jeez. I'm so glad you chose to join me today, and I hope to pick you up on the next drive.